Welcome to Discussing Dad Life, where we break down bullshit so you don't have to. I'm Void, this is No, and let's go.
Welcome to Wellspring Wednesdays, everybody. So to kick off Wellspring Wednesdays, we are going to start with our sponsor, Candle Time. Candle Time is ran by an 11-year-old girl, and she makes these amazing candles. So I have 4 scents in front of you, the 2 blue ones, Lakeshore, very good. All these come with wooden wicks. Sea Breeze. Yeah, that smells delicious. Reminds me of standing by the ocean. We have coconut and peach. Peach is pretty good. I like it. Coconut's by far my favorite, though. I do love coconut. So if you guys are interested in Candle Time and picking up one of these wonderful candles, email us at candletime2022@gmail.com, and we will get you the info for Venmo payment, and we will get your address and ship these out. Unless you're local, and then we can just plan on meeting up. So, yeah, shout out to Candle Time. So as I indicated on Monday's episode, I wanted to break down some or dive into this immigration issue, right? We have a lot of criminal aliens coming into the United States right now. And a lot of these people, the claim is that these are people, asylum seekers, that they're fleeing, hardships. But in all reality, they're men, single men, early 20s into their 30s that are coming across. They're not fleeing anything. They're economic migrants. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think going somewhere to pursue a career or to try making a better life for yourself is wrong in any way, shape, or form. I actually think that's what America was founded on. Where the problem comes into play is the simple fact that we have like these enclaves. So if you look at, I think it's Sweden. Is it Sweden? Crap, no. There's a town in one of these European countries. I believe it's Sweden, where it's in a complete immigrant community. They don't speak the national language. They don't follow the same rules. They have their own that they follow. So they're not assimilating to the people that are around them, which is not necessarily wrong, right? Because America is a great melting pot. You bring in all these cultures together, and the things that work rise up to the top. American culture is kind of a hodgepodge of everything, but if you break it down at its its basic level is we are looking to enhance our lives for our children. That's basically what the American dream is. That's the American culture. So if you come in and you assimilate and you work towards the common goal and you agree with the common things that everyone that has been working for, is good. And then you also get to introduce your new ideas because, let's face it, everybody needs new ideas to make things work better. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and pull up what immigration is, bud. So, right here, scroll all the way up. This is from the travel.state.gov, the Department of State, the Bureau of Consular Affairs, and we're looking at just U.S. visas. So, how you immigrate, and it says, are you interested in immigrating to the United States or want to sponsor someone? The United States provides for immigrant visas based on family ties, employment, adoption, special immigrant categories, and diversity visa, which is interesting. Click on the icons below to learn more. So here, scroll down. So on family ties for certain family members of U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents, green card holders. For employment, that one's pretty apparent. For adoption, to adopt orphans currently outside of the U.S. Scroll down. Special immigrant based on special categories, including former U.S. government employees. So these would be people that, like in Iraq and Afghanistan, the locals that actually helped out our troops. So that's what those ones are. Diversity visa is an annual program making a limited number of visas available to persons who meet strict eligibility requirements from countries with low rates of immigration to the United States. So this is just encouraging people that aren't from countries that aren't doing immigrating to the U.S. to immigrate more. And then you can look at all the types of visas. So go over to the next tab, and this is that, right? So here's the diverse directory of visa categories. So you have two different types. You have non-immigrant visa categories, which these are all the ones. B1 is athlete, amateur, or professional. J is exchange visitor. E3 is Australian professional specialty. BCC, border crossing card for Mexico. B1 is a business visitor. See W1, right? So it's just a bunch of all these different things. You have an A, which is diplomat or foreign government official, right? These are all non-immigrants. These are people that are coming to the United States but are not planning on staying here. So let's scroll down all the way to the immigrant visa categories. So immediate relative and family sponsored. So if you get married outside of the United States and you want to bring your wife or your husband to the United States, you're going to go for an IR1 or a CR1. Spouse of a U.S. citizen awaiting approval from an I-130 immigrant petition gets a K3. Fiance to marry a U.S. citizen and live in the U.S. is a K1. Now they have little stars next to those two, so we're going to have to read what those stars mean. Inter-country adoption of orphan children by U.S. citizens is an IR3, IH3, IR4, IH4. Why there's so many different categories on those, I'm not 100% sure. I probably could dig into that and figure that one out, but I'm assuming it's based on regions of the globe, more than likely. Certain family members of U.S. citizens are all those ones, and certain family members of lawful permanent residents are the other two, the F2A and the F2B. Employment, right? So you can get ones based on employment for immigrants, for priority workers, professionals and other workers, employment creation, investors, certain special immigrants. Scroll down. You have religious workers. You have Iraq and Afghanistan translators, interpreters, Iraqs who worked on behalf of the U.S. government, Afghans who worked on them. Other immigrants is the diversity immigrant visa and the returning resident. So let's see the important notes. So the asterisk for the K visas listed with immigrant visas because they are from immigration related purposes. About this chart is, double. Yeah. So those are the types of different visas we have. Now, the problem we have in this is we have backlogs on our immigration. So rather than trying to go to the Congress, which is where this should be taking place of, they're trying to do things on the courts, and the courts are getting back down on everything as well. So then the administration that is supposed to be securing the border, it basically has abdicated their duty on securing the border rather than attacking the real problem. And the real problem is this. When Void was here, shout out to Void. He's working hard on his albums that he's trying to get released this summer. So he will be joining us when he has time. When that time is, I am unsure. But when he was talking, we both have a mutual friend or a mutual ex-coworker, acquaintance, I guess, however you want to say it. But he was, I want to say it took him dang near 10 years to get his citizenship finalized. 10 years. That's insane. It is insane that our government is so slow and so bad at doing their job that people have to give up almost a decade of their life for them just to get to the United States legally. It's absolutely crazy. The other issue that we run into is that for any reason, the government, the State Department can just go ahead and say, your visa has been revoked. So let's go with the last tab, the visa revocations. So this is from Figueroa Contreras Law Group. Scroll up, dude. So visa revocation and cancellations. So a U.S. visa can be revoked or canceled for a myriad of reasons. Visas can be revoked by a U.S. Department of State, consular office at a U.S. embassy, or the U.S. consulate. A visa may also be canceled by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security officer, such as by a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agent at a U.S. airport or other U.S. ports of entries, or by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service officer following adjustment of status. The most common grounds for visa revocation or cancellation include visa was fraudulently issued, suspected immigrant intent, suspected unauthorized employment, suspected status violation, no longer qualify for the visa due to criminal activity, prudent revocation by the U.S. Embassy or U.S. Consulate following the rest of the United States for DUI or other crimes, cancellation of non-immigrant visas following adjustment of status. Right, so those are just some of the common grounds for it. There's two I really want to focus in on right here is suspected unauthorized employment. Now, there are certain visas where you come here, like a tourist visa, where you're not allowed to work. You can't make money in the United States. Now, I kind of have an issue with this. If you're going to have a visa to come to the United States as a tourist or otherwise, and let's say you're a tourist and you bring along chocolate that you made back wherever from Sweden. Let's just go Sweden. You made some chocolates. You brought them over, and you brought them over to because your buddy that you're visiting in the States wants to buy them, right? Technically, that's a violation right there, which is absolutely stupid. But so the other one no longer qualify for the visa due to like criminal activity. That's the other one I want to hone in on, right? So our criminal system sucks. Our judicial system sucks. They ram through and force people to take plea deals just to try getting out of the stress that they're in. And we unfortunately don't look at an individual case, right? We don't look at the individual behind a case. We just automatically all assume they're like, you can't compare one criminal activity to the next. So let's say you have someone that commits murder, right? Obviously that criminal activity is up there where you should no longer qualify for the visa, right? I think that's a given. But now let's say that you are in California and you're sitting back and you're just, having one too many beers or something like that, and you get a drunken disorderly, and then you make a scene with the cop, and the cop says, whatever. Does that criminal activity rise to the level that you need to be disqualified for your visa? I don't think so. In my mind, I don't think so. People are people. We're people, there are plenty of people inside the United States that do some really bad things that really should not be out on the streets, yet they are. But then there's really good people that come across into our borders and do something stupid that are forced to vacate and can never come back. Immigration, like I said, is outdated. We have a lot of issues on our immigration, and we need our Congress to actually come together and start fixing some of these things, streamlining it, and rather than putting money into the IRS to go after tax-paying citizens to gouge them for more money, maybe put the money into people that can actually go on an individual case and look at these people rather than having a stack that takes 3, 4, 5 years to get through. And when you put in a thing, it's thrown at the bottom, and now I got to wait 5 years. Well, 5 years is a long time, guys. Lots of things can change. So scroll down. The law allows eligible persons to seek a visa reinstatement following revocation. Others may apply for a new visa. In many cases, a waiver of inadmissibility must be applied for in conjunction with the reinstatement petition or a new visa application. The skilled legal team so that's their pitch to go ahead and get with them. Now, I think our problem lies in the simple fact that there's way too much bureaucratic paperwork to go through, Other countries have the same issues. I was just talking with someone about another country where they know someone that was not admitted because of a missed piece of paper. That's insane. I'm not for open borders. I am fairly libertarian in a lot of things. However, I don't think you can have a nation without a border. So I do have to draw a line and believe that there has to be some sort of manner of knowing who is coming into the country and whatnot. However, I don't believe that our immigration laws are up to snuff or up to speed for our ever-changing world. I don't believe that we have the best practices in place for enforcing our current laws on the books. But I also don't believe we have enough. And I'm not one for more government spending. I'm actually one for less government spending. However, this one seems to be an area where we're not spending enough because, all American citizens are, let's say we get arrested. We get charged with a crime. We are owed a speedy trial, right? Now, sometimes those get dragged out for reasons beyond the control, but there's other times where they get dragged out because the prosecutor is overwhelmed with the amount of paperwork. And instead of getting more help to get through that stuff, they've just decided to no cash bails, right? You see all this is all tying together. The simple fact is we have a overburdened judicial system and bureaucratic system, and our bureaucratic system doesn't actually work for the people. And it's not even just working for our people either. It's actually working for the people that actually want to come here. Economic migrants, I think, are a good thing. We under Donald Trump, we actually had more jobs available than we had people to fill them. Who are we going to have to fill them? Oh, we need to immigrate people. We need to allow them in. Under Joe Biden, we have not enough jobs for everybody. And all he's doing is allowing more and more people to pour in, thus driving. There's a whole thing on how all this ties together. The simple fact is our government, the United States government, has their head up their rear end when it comes to actually handling issues appropriately. And it doesn't just hurt the American people. It actually hurts the people, the good people from outside of the United States that want to come here and visit our great nation. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to shout out Candle Time one more time. If you guys are interested, Candle Time 2022. I'll put the email in the description. So check it out. Again, social medias should be up, hopefully. Go ahead, switch this to the main screen, bud. Social media should be up and running for Candle Time. I'm hoping by the time this drops, but it might not be. As soon as they are, I will definitely add them into the descriptions as well, and you guys can check out the TikTok and the Instagram that will be made. Show Boo some love. Till next time. Peace. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Till then, peace.